a video review for Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Gold Armor Grimlock. I kept wanting to call him Goldfire because I think one version of Grimlock in a gold scheme was called Goldfire. Maybe I'm just thinking of the Bumblebee. But Gold Armor Grimlock. And as you can see, it's just the same Warrior Class Grimlock we got before in more of a G1-ish color scheme. And he also has a remolded head, but for the most part, it's the exact same figure. He's got the goldish chest, and he's gray and black, like a traditional Dinobot color scheme. Now, the packaging itself shows him looking much more like of a shiny metallic gold paint, and you can see it's kind of a metallic orangish, butterscotchy color on the actual figure itself. Which I don't know. Like the metallic paint it looks nice here on the prototype. I guess I wouldn't mind having this one either, but he actually doesn't look too bad in the actual release colors. And just for a quick comparison, just here you can see here he is with his previous counterpart. Exact same mold here, with just some minor differences, mostly like all in the colors here, at least in alt mode. Red eyes instead of blue, gray and orangey butterscotch and black color scheme as opposed to the green and black that he had over here. He's still got the same little chompy gimmick. Which I kind of like. Now, his transformation to robot mode is exactly the same as his previous counterpart. You just want to come out here, pull the legs assemblies out to the side, flip his arms kind of back a little bit as you bring these up to give him clearance, and then fold the arms all the way back. You can bring them forward as like secondary arms in robot mode if you want, but they're supposed to hang back here, kind of under his abdomen. And then pop the legs up here like this, split the panels, slide them out and around like that, split the lower legs, fold the tail section up onto one side of the leg. He's got a fake one on the other side. And then there's little slots here. You bring this around and you tab into right here like this, and then flip the foot up. That's simple. Bring his legs down, straighten them up, flip his dinosaur head to the back, rotate the forearms, and flip out his hands. And there he is in robot mode. And again, a very G1-esque color scheme for Grimlock here. Red waist, gold chest, silver arms with some black detailing. Dinosaur head on the back. Even little arms end up on the back. He doesn't have the wing pieces, but very reminiscent of the G1 toy. And you notice he has a new head sculpt here. He's got a red visored full faceplate sculpt versus the blue-eyed face sculpt of the original toy. It looks like they just fit it into the same space. The general shape of the head is the same. They just changed his faceplate and the visor here on this one. So yeah, again, not a whole lot of difference. He's got a gray neck. His head swivels right here. Shoulder swivels and a hinge out. He does have a thigh or a bicep rotation. He's got clicking ratchety elbows, and it doesn't look like they have fixed the issue that causes them to explode. That is an easy fix because it turns out this little insert in here. In the arm, it's a little easier to spot here on the green one because you can see it's gray there. Basically, that's a separate piece. There's no spring in there. It's actually just a little piece of kind of U-shaped piece of plastic. And the fix is you just punch this pin out on the elbow, which is easy enough to do, especially if you have a center punch. And then just glue that piece in place into the slot of the arm. Because it's that kind of U shape with the tabs, the clicky part will still bend and allow it to hit all those notches and spring into place. But what was causing the elbows to explode was the notches would get the ratchets on the upper elbow piece, the black piece, would catch on this piece, and with it not being secured in place, it would catch on the edge and kind of push that unsecured piece all around up in the elbow. When it's glued in, it doesn't have that wiggle and it doesn't allow it to do that. But otherwise, it can catch on a corner and just kind of twist that. It keeps wanting to push that insert out, and that's what was pushing through this thin plastic on the forearm and cracking it. It does look like they have, just looking at the layers here, and it's hard to get this on camera, it does look like they have reinforced this panel here. Let me refocus this a little bit, see if we can get that in a little better detail. You can see the green here. You can see where the gray butts almost right up against the green. It's a thin layer of green plastic there. And it does look like it's at least twice as thick here on the forearm. So maybe they did fix it. They did it by fixing this forearm and not by securing that piece inside of there. So it should be less prone to breakage. But again, if you really want to make sure that it's not going to push that insert out through the plastic, you can just pop the hinge off and then glue that insert into the socket in the arm and then reassemble it. But yeah, so no waist swivel, but he's got forward and back, side to side thighs, thigh swivel, or hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees, and there you go. Like I said, I think Grimlock was probably the best figure certainly of Wave 1 of Robots in Disguise, and I think he's one of him and Drift are two of the better Warrior class figures in the entire line. So having one that looks more a little G1-esque, I can absolutely justify having both of these guys on the shelf here because it's a good solid toy, and the color schemes are different enough that they look like two separate characters. So yeah, that's all there is to it. I wasn't planning on picking him up until I found him in the store. I figured I'd find him in the store eventually, and eventually happened to be today. So yeah, there it is. Transformers Robots in Disguise, Warrior Class, Gold Armor Grimlock.